What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel where we speak the truth, we're honest, and we give our takes on AEW and professional wrestling, of course. It is Friday, August 23rd, 2024, and today we are previewing All In, AEW's biggest show of the entire year. And honestly, it's becoming one of professional wrestling's biggest shows of the entire year. The trademark All In for AEW is their version of WrestleMania that is very clear and obvious. Next year, they are going to be at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, home of the Texas Rangers. And that is next year, but clearly, this is their version of WrestleMania, and they're literally going all in. Crazy how that goes. The catchphrase. They're going all in for All In. But Wembley Stadium for a second year in a row. Obviously, us wrestling fans know that last year they broke the record for the highest attendance wrestling event of all time, 81,000 at Wembley Stadium. This year was not able to get that many. That was not able to get 80,000. They got 50,000, which is still a big accomplishment. That we have two major wrestling companies going to stadiums with 50,000 plus people in the arena. I still think that's really cool that AEW has got 50,000 strong at Wembley Stadium on Sunday. The crowd is going to be awesome. If you liked the crowd for Dynamite at Cardiff, Wales, this one's going to be 5, maybe 10 times better than the crowd at Cardiff. But we've got a hell of a card to talk about, a lot of championship matches, and man, I want to dive right into it. So if you have not already, be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel, because what's coming up is football season. Football season is just around the corner, and with All In this week, and unfortunately with All Out being pushed back a week, I don't know if I'm going to be reviewing All Out on the Big Fight Field channel this year. Why? Because it's the same week as football season. So, this week coming up, after All In, got a lot going on in my personal life. So, gotta admit that I don't know how much content I'm gonna make out. But I will do one video for sure, and that will be my reaction to the Miami Dolphins 53-man roster. That comes out Tuesday. Tuesday is the 53-man roster for the Miami Dolphins. So basically, after All In, we are transitioning into football Miami Dolphins content. So I'm going to give myself the next week to breathe and settle down, and then we will get into the heavy dose of the content the week after. And that's going to be a crazy week. I go back to my job, teaching full time. So it's going to be crazy with that, school, content. I'm going to make it work, though. I promise y'all, this football season is going to be insane. I'm getting a schedule for the first week of football. Obviously, we will have our picks video for week 1 and so forth. We'll have our previews. We'll have our post-game recap video. And of course, we're going to have the season preview. I just got to figure out which day it's going to be on. But enough of me yabbing. Go ahead and check out the latest Dynamite review here on the Big Fight Field channel. from this past Wednesday. And let's go ahead and talk about this son of a bitch. Should we? We have 9 matches on the card for All In, and we have 1 match on the 0 Hour. I don't know if there's going to be more matches confirmed for 0 Hour. My guess would be yes. I don't predict a 0 Hour because it's really nothing of importance. The one match that's announced for 0 Hour is Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii versus Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. Stokely Hathaway will take the pin from Tomohiro Ishii, but the stipulation from this match is the winner of this mixed tag team match, whether it's Willow Nightingale's team or Chris Statlander's team, the winner will get to pick the stipulation for their third and final match, which will take place at All Out. So that is that. I'm going to take Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii. Then we get to the main card. 9 matches. Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné. I could see that opening the show. I don't think AEW has ever had a women's match open up a pay-per-view before, and I feel like if there's a show to do it, this is the show. This would be the match to do it. I know that the build was cold. If there's one word to describe the build between Mercedes and Britt Baker, I'm using the word cold. And it started out so good with Britt Baker coming back at Forbidden Door, and then the face-to-face confrontation they had in Chicago, which was awesome. And I feel like since then it's been disappointing a little bit. We got Camille with Mercedes Moné, so I like that addition. I like Mercedes having her bodyguard, or what she's calling it, her brick house. And I think that this is an instance where I think the match is going to be better than the build. With the way the build has gone for this, the match needs to deliver. And I do think the match is going to deliver. And I think there's high expectations for this match because this is the biggest match that AEW can do in the women's division. Right now, if they were to book a match outside of Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm, the biggest match they can book is Britt Baker versus Mercedes Moné. Britt Baker was the first female signed to AEW. We know all her accomplishments. She's basically the face of the women's division for many, many years. And then we got into the Toni Storms, and we got into the Mercedes Monets, and now they're the faces of the women's division. And the story of this is Britt trying to take back her throne at the top of the women's division, like she's had it since day one in AEW, taking over for an outsider in Mercedes Moné. So who do I see winning this match? I think this is very predictable. Mercedes Moné is not losing the TBS championship this soon. She's got a long way to go being the TBS champion. I think she's going to be champion maybe till the end of the year, but I would be shocked if Britt Baker somehow picks up the win and becomes the new TBS champion at All In. I don't see it happening. I'm going to take Mercedes Moné to retain the TBS championship, and I think that would be a pretty damn good opening match for the All In card. Then the tag team titles. FTR, the Acclaimed, and the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks are the tag team champions. They've defended the titles once. I understand that their gimmick is the corporate EVP assholes who do whatever they want, but ever since it's felt like the anarchy in the arena, the Young Bucks have been ice cold. And the word I'm throwing around a lot is cold, but I'm guessing heat. Hasn't been a lot of heat on the Young Bucks lately. The Acclaimed have built themselves up nicely. FTR has gotten themselves in this feud because Tony Khan wanted FTR on the show, obviously, probably. But this is basically the same match as last year, adding the Acclaimed. It's going to be a great match. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun, but this is basically the same match as last year, and I think the Young Bucks get the win this year. I think the Young Bucks win by pinning the Acclaimed, and I don't know what's next for FTR. I don't know what's next for the Young Bucks. And apparently the tag team division's on thin ice because it seems like the Lucha Bros are leaving AEW, which kind of sucks because I understand that they've literally accomplished everything they possibly could in AEW, but they are so fucking good. That's a huge loss. And this is probably the first time since, I would say, since CM Punk last year. So the first time since last year where I'd be like, damn, this actually sucks that this individual or these individuals are leaving AEW. And it stinks for the tag team division because the Lucha Bros are so fucking good. But they've literally accomplished everything they possibly could in AEW. Tag team champions, trios champions. Rey Fenix was the international champion for a little bit, and man, I think they're more than they're out the door already. They're basically out the door. So I got the Young Bucks for the win in the tag team title match. Then we have the Casino Gauntlet, and this is the most the most unpredictable match to predict because we don't know all the names. We know that Orange Cassidy's going to be the first entrant. We know that Kyle O'Reilly's in the match. We know that Roderick Strong's in the match. And we know that Mike Briscoe's in the match. And we also know that Hangman Adam Page is in the match because on Wednesday on Dynamite, he cut a backstage promo saying, whoever gets in my way, I will knock you down to get to my destiny, which is Swerve Strickland and the AEW World Championship. Obviously, we're going to get to the World Championship later on, but I don't see Hangman winning this match. I mean, I could go ahead and pick the safe option, which is Hangman. But what I am going to do is I'm going to pick Prince Puma. And Prince Puma is Ricochet. It was spoiled, of course, by Fightful Select that Ricochet has signed a multi-year deal with AEW, and he is going to be a part of their plans for All In. And more than likely, that means he's in the Casino Gauntlet match. And what bigger way to create a boom in AEW for Ricochet than having him win this Casino Gauntlet and challenge for the AEW World Championship wherever he may please. My guess would be All Out. Would it be a smart idea to thrust him right into a world title match? I don't know. More than likely he wouldn't win the World Championship, but hey, I'm just trying to be a little bit unpredictable here, so I will take Ricochet for the win in this Casino Gauntlet match. And then the FTW Championship, Hook and Jericho. My God, I feel like we've seen this. Like, I feel like this is the 10th time we've seen a combination of Hook and Chris Jericho in the same match. I'm ready for them to move on. And honestly, Hook is above the FTW Championship. Hook needs to destroy Chris Jericho, win the FTW Championship, and then properly retire the FTW Championship, because they keep saying it's a non-recognized title. It's not recognized by AEW. So, if it's not recognized by AEW, then why are we creating a whole storyline over the FTW title? Why are we doing matches on TV for the FTW title? Why are we carrying around the FTW title at all? So, Hook is above that title. He has been since last year at All In when he wrestled Jack Perry. And he needs to move up the card because, honestly, they have not... AEW has not progressed Hook away from that FTW Championship, and it's holding him back. It's holding him back a little bit, and I think that he definitely needs to move up the card for sure. So I'm going with Hook, and I think Hook should absolutely destroy Chris Jericho in this match. The Trios titles. Now, this has been a Collision feud, so if you're not paying attention, and I mean, I don't watch Collision sometimes on time. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but they're cooking with these Trios titles. You got two teams going after the Patriarchy in the House of Black and the Bang Bang Gang. House of Black and the Bang Bang Gang had a number one contender match with Christian Cage as a special guest referee. Christian speared Buddy Matthews at 9 and then counted to 10. So both teams weren't able to answer to the 10 count. Christian made it a DQ, and Christopher Daniels made it a decision that the Patriarchy were going to defend the Trios titles in a 4-way match, in a ladder match. So, with the Collision spoiler, it's going to be the Patriarchy defending the Trios titles against the House of Black, the Bang Bang Gang, and the team of Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Pac. Now, before this match happens, they need to give us an explanation. Why is Pac teaming up with the Blackpool Combat Club? Because the last time Pac had any association with the Blackpool Combat Club, he walked out on the Blackpool Combat Club at Blood and Guts last year. I don't forget. Us hardcore fans like me, we don't forget we don't forget stories years long like this. So I don't forget, and I need an explanation. Why is Pac teaming up with the Blackpool Combat Club when he walked out on them a year ago in Blood and Guts? I need that explanation. But besides that, this match is going to be an absolute banger. I'm actually so excited to see the carnage that these guys are able to create in this match. You see the talent all over the ring. It's awesome. They're going to absolutely kill it. I'm really looking forward to this match. Big spotlight on the Trios titles here. And I'm leaning towards giving the trios titles to the House of Black again. I don't know why. It's just a gut feeling that I'm going to take the House of Black to win the trios championships from the Patriarchy in this ladder match. Darby Allin and Jack Perry for the TNT Championship. This is a coffin match, and these guys have been looking to kill each other for, it feels like, forever. Ever since Darby came back for the Anarchy in the Arena match, he lit Jack Perry up on fire. He came back for Blood and Guts, and he tried to light Jack Perry on fire again, but Jack Perry surrendered and gave Darby Allin this match. And then Jack Perry looked to absolutely destroy Darby Allin. And he's like, I'm going to beat you in your own game. I want a coffin match. And when he said that, I'm like, Darby's winning. I don't know why Darby needs the TNT Championship, but Darby Allin's winning if this is a coffin match. But then we read a rumor that AEW is considering giving Darby Allin a world championship run in the near future. And you gotta remember who won Royal Rampage this year. That's right, Darby Allin won Royal Rampage. That means Darby Allin is getting a match for the World Championship at Grand Slam. And they very well could put the AEW World title on Darby Allin. No matter who wins the main event at Wembley, they could put that title on Darby Allin as soon as Grand Slam. So this makes the match hard to predict, because you got that rumor floating around that AEW might want to put the world title on Darby Allin. It's a coffin match. Darby's never lost a coffin match. Jack Perry just won the TNT title at Forbidden Door. What do? I'm going to take Jack Perry. And I know it's risky because it's a coffin match and it's Darby's match. But my gosh, Darby has already lit Jack Perry on fire. And he tried to light him on fire again at Blood and Guts. And he tried to destroy him, like literally fucking murder him, a couple weeks ago. And he was stopped by security. So this fucker Jack Perry needs revenge in some sort of way. And what better way to get revenge on Darby than beating him in his own game? And if Darby is going to, obviously he's going after the world title. He's got a match at Grand Slam. If Darby Allin were to win the world championship, it would not make sense for him to win the TNT championship here. So therefore, I'm taking Jack Perry. And I think Jack Perry is going to retain the TNT championship. But this is probably the hardest match to predict on the whole show. And it's one of the most exciting matches on the whole show. Mariah May and Toni Storm. I'm going to take Mariah. I think it's time to take the World Women's Championship off of Toni and put it on Mariah. I don't think the feud's over. I think this feud goes beyond All In, possibly beyond All Out. But I see this feud going into the fall. I don't think we're done. I don't think this feud is one and done. I think this possibly could extend to a trilogy with Toni winning the belt back. I don't know, But Mariah has been awesome in this feud, and I think Mariah deserves a chance with the AEW World Women's Championship. So for that, I'm going to take Mariah May to defeat Toni Storm. But this is the match I'm looking forward to the most. And a lot of people are going to say the main event. My match I'm looking forward to the most is Will Ospreay versus MJF. The build for this match has been incredible. The promo between Ospreay and MJF on Dynamite and Cardiff was unbelievable. Go watch it if you haven't already. It is insane. It's awesome. And you got the whole MJF American hero gimmick. It's so over the top, but it's so good. And MJF is absolutely killing it. And it's to the point where I don't want it to end, but it's made to be a short-term gimmick because there is no fucking way in hell that MJF, representing the United States of America, is going into London, England against an Englishman, Will Ospreay, and beating him. Will Ospreay is going to beat MJF. He's going to bring back the International Championship, and it's going to be Will Ospreay versus Pac at All Out for the International Championship, which that is going to be a classic. And this is going to be a classic as well. And I said it on the Dynamite review, and I said it again. This is going to be better than their first match. I think this match at Wembley is going to be better than the first match they had on Dynamite when MJF beat him in 59 minutes and 58 seconds. So, I'm taking Ospreay for the win. And then the main event. This could be emotional. Bryan Danielson, Swerve Strickland, title versus career. It would be shocking if Bryan Danielson doesn't go his entire run in AEW without winning a championship. I would be shocked. Never even a tag team champion. Never won a championship in AEW. And I wouldn't put him past him. Because he's always talked about how he's never wanted to win a title. He's wanted to put so many people over. And he feels like what he's doing is right. Right? He's had multiple shots at the World Championship with Hangman Page, with MJF. I think a Moxley once, maybe. I'm not so sure. But he's had matches for the Continental title. He lost to Eddie Kingston earlier this year. I think there was a time he lost to Christian Cage as a TNT champion. But he's had so many chances to win a title in AEW, and he's came up short every single time. However, if Bryan is set on retiring and you give this win to Swerve Strickland, he is already a star. You are making him a mega star. You're skyrocketing him to the fucking top of the industry. If Swerve Strickland wins this match, you're skyrocketing him to the top of the wrestling industry, and he's going to have that forever, that I retired Bryan Danielson in the main event of All In at Wembley Stadium. This is so hard to call, because you also got to tie the Hangman stuff into this with Swerve. Who wins? I'm taking Bryan Danielson. And the way that I think this is going to go is it's going to be Bryan versus whoever wins the Casino Gauntlet at All Out, and Bryan is going to win. We then get the Grand Slam, and it's going to be Bryan versus Darby for the AEW World Title, and somehow we get a time limit draw or a DQ, and once Swerve is done handling his business with Adam Page, Swerve is coming back for the AEW World Championship, and your main event of Wrestle Dream in Tacoma, Washington is going to be Bryan Danielson defending against Darby Allin and Swerve Strickland, and you'll have Seattle native versus Seattle native versus Seattle native. And who comes out of that match as champion? It'll be between Swerve and Darby. I don't know. But that's the way I see it playing out. I don't think Bryan Danielson goes his entire run in AEW without winning a championship, specifically the AEW World Championship. Give him his fucking flowers at Wembley Stadium. And everyone knows he's not going to be the champion for a long time. So just enjoy it while it happens, and then go from there. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got. Those are your all-in predictions. I'll be back Sunday after the show is over for the review of All In. And I expect to be reviewing an excellent wrestling show. So, I'm out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. Hit the like button if you like to hear from me. Comment down below if you so please your predictions for All In. And follow me on Twitter, Conlon_Joseph. I'll be live tweeting throughout the entire event on Sunday, and I can't wait. So, I'm getting out of here, and I will see you guys Sunday after the pay-per-view. It's an early start time. 1 p.m. main card starts. Have a good one. Stay safe, and as always, stay classy and love wrestling. Peace.